What's going on YouTube? Team Starcraft here, bringing you another video. Now I decided, for those of you who haven't paid attention, I know probably everybody watched the Terran multiplayer updates that they posted like 9-10 months ago, but if you haven't followed with everything that's changed in the beta and you're not quite sure on what all the units do at this point in time on the release of Legacy of the Void, I'm making this video, what is today? As of November 21st, I'm going to make a video and go through all the Terran units with you and kind of what new upgrades they got and what's changed since Heart of the Swarm. So let's go ahead and start. I mean, obviously if you haven't played since Heart of the Swarm, you log on, you see you start with 12 workers. Well, that's the change for all the races. Everybody starts with 12. The idea is to take bases quicker, get to the action quicker. They kind of did away with that small point of not really doing anything for the first 3 to 4 minutes of the old Starcraft games. So that's the fundamental changes to the economy. I'm going to get started talking about the units now. So we will start on our Barracks, the bread and butter of the Terran army, the Marine, 45 HP. Didn't really get any changes. It's still pretty much your same old Marine from Heart of the Swarm. The Tech Lab does offer you the ability to get the Combat Shields upgrade, which gives the Marines 10 more life. The Stimpact, as you know, still the same. And Concussive Shells, which is actually for the Marauder, which is the next unit we'll talk about. So the Marine has really got nothing changed since Heart of the Swarm. The Marauder, now, all of his stats are the same, except they did change his attack. The Punisher Grenades used to just be one attack that did 20 damage versus armored, 10 versus regular. Now it's... hold on. I'm getting attacked by the very easy AI. Just send the store down.
Mineral field depleted.
Ruining my presentation, Protoss. Okay, bring that store back here. Anyway, so we're talking Marauder. So notice that Punisher Grenades are actually 2 attacks. So what does that mean? Well, it means instead of just attacking once, he shoots 2 shots out. But how does that change them as a unit? Well, for example, let's say this Thor over here does have 1 armor. This is a poor example. Let's say an Ultralisk, for example, with like 8 armor after the Chitanus plating upgrades. Before, Marauders used to be okay at just attacking those, but now since their attack does 2 shots instead of 1, that means the armor value of the unit that's getting attacked gets stacked twice. So if a Ultralisk has 8 armor and this Punisher Grenade does 10 against armored as 2 shots, so that's 8 deducted twice, so he only does 4 damage to a fully upgraded Ultralisk, whereas before he would still do 12 damage as of 20 damage minus 8. So it is kind of a slight nerf on the Marauders' part. They're not as good against armored anymore. Didn't really change much on how they function against light units. Might be actually a little better against light units. But anyways, that's what changed with the Marauder.
Sure thing.
Reaper did get little changes. Still has combat drugs, regenerates life out of combat, but did get a new ability called the KD8 Charge, which is kind of he throws a grenade after short delay, deals 10 damage to knockbacks all nearby units. So I could probably use it on my own workers here, give you guys kind of a show. Throw down that grenade, 1, 2, 3, and boom. So it's kind of an interesting ability. Does do 10 damage. So I mean, if you throw enough of them, you could probably do some damage to worker lines. But I haven't seen this used too much. It is kind of nice just to be really annoying. It does stop a little bit of mining, or if the Reaper's getting chased, you can just throw your grenade and run away. So that's what's changed with the Reaper. Haven't really seen any game-breaking things with this new grenade, but we'll see if someone figures out what's really good with it anyways. Now, next unit on the Barracks is the Ghost. Does require the Ghost Academy to be built. Ghost Academy still does cloak research and can research nukes, but the Ghost did get some changes. He still has his EMP, can still drop down a nuke, but his snipe ability is different. Now it's called Steady Targeting. It's after 1.43 seconds while not taking damage, the Ghost fires a sniper round that deals 170 damage and it ignores the armor. So I guess this is real good against big biological things. So probably most of these are Brood Lords, Ultralisks, things of that nature. The Ghost can make quick work of. I wonder if I can shoot my own SCV. Kind of show you guys. It does have fairly decent range too. Oh, can't shoot mine. Let me go walk across this map and see where this Protoss guy's at. See if we can make use of this ability. See if I can find something. Probably have to be a zealot. Something all Protoss stuff's like mechanical, psionic.
Confirmed.
Oh, don't die, Ghost! No!
You're on.
Alright. Oh, crap.
Solo operative, right?
Can't lose the Ghost.
Yes, sir. It's getting too
Alright.
hot.
So, sorry guys, we lost the Ghost. We'll come back to him. Alright, let's move on to the factory. The Hellion. First unit of the factory. Still costs 100. Still used for scouting. Not much. Oh my gosh, these guys. Here. Showcase the Liberator. You guys go prepare that Thor. And that's the Liberator siege mode in action. And we'll come talk and let you guys know what that means in a second. Ooh, and then you got to see the Cyclone lock on too.
Mineral field depleted.
Okay, anyways. Hellion. Nothing's changed on these Hellions. They're still the same. Still transferring to Hellbats when they get the Armory add-on over here. Still got Blue Flame research. What of Mines, nothing's changed. They still got their Drilling Claws research. Siege tanks, they have changed some. They still do the same damage and everything, but they have changed in the sense that they can now be picked up in siege mode by medevacs. And this is all to try to allow some micros so we can be very annoying and just try to drop siege tanks and harass the Protoss.
Will do, Command.
And then just get out of there.
Talk to me.
So this is definitely cool. They did delay the time it takes before the siege tank actually fires off, but it used to not be long at all. Drop that, boost, get your tank, get out of there. You can even drop it over here if we want. Get a little vision, just be very annoying. But I like that change for the tank. It does open up some new harassment options. Definitely makes it a little smoother than having to drop a tank and switch it to siege mode. See, this computer's just an idiot.
Waiting on you.
Alright, so we can go back here, drop that tank back off. The next one is the Cyclone, my personal favorite. 120 HP. Has a basic attack that does 18 damage to Typhoon Missile Pod, but also has an ability called Lock On. And this is the range of the Lock On, so if you get within this, it's automatically set to autocast, but you can right click if you don't want to autocast. Let's say you're just in the start of the game, you only have one Cyclone, you're really trying to like snipe out a Mothership core or something like that. You don't want to lock onto the first thing it sees, but once you have a bunch, it's easier to just have it on autocast. So whenever unit's in this white circle that you see, it'll lock on, and what that means is once it locks on, let's see if I can show you real quick. Attack the Protoss. Once it does lock on, it gets an extended range and it will continuously fire 400 damage over 14 seconds as long as it's still within the range of the Protoss unit. So we'll get a lock on the Stalker right here, and as you can see, I do have a bigger range now, much bigger range, and I actually stepped out. So we'll try to get a lock on again on something, and just backing out, as you can see. That Templar goes down, and I did lose my Cyclone. It's not a good unit video, but more or less that's what it is. It is good. Very good at harass, very mobile. It does work well with Hellions in the early game. That's the new Terran unit. Can get the upgrade Mag Field Accelerator, which essentially doubles the damage it does to armored units. Against armored, it does an extra 400 against armored air and armored ground, which means it's kind of doing twice the damage per second on lock-on against armored units, which is phenomenal. Last unit is the Thor. Has not had any changes, actually lost its ability to switch its anti-air guns. Now it just has the baseline, the Javelin missiles, which is the one that's good against the Mutalisks and all, but pretty much this guy has nothing special about him. He's just a big robot. Does a lot of damage. Would be nice to see the Thor get an ability, because right now he feels like the only unit in the Terran arsenal that really doesn't do anything. You know, he's just a big thing that hits ground and air. There's nothing really special about him. Sorry, Thor. Medevacs did get a change. They do have this upgrade in the Starport called High Capacity Fuel Tanks. Increases Medevac's fuel reserves, allowing Ignite Afterburners to last 50% longer. So this is very good for the boost. As you can see, Ignite Afterburners right here. See how long it lasts.
Well, hallelujah.
It does last for a good amount.
I heard that.
But we will see how long it lasts after this upgrade. Next one on the list is the Viking. Has got no changes. Still the same long-range anti-air unit from earlier. Is more focused on dealing with armored air.
Base
Whereas
is
we have
under
the
attack.
new unit. They just won't leave the store alone. I'm sorry, Thor. You're still good for something. You're holding off this whole Protoss army by yourself.
Get me out of this mess.
With the help of the boys. Pulling the boys. Alright. Alright, where were we? We said the Viking. Banshees. Banshees still get the cloak upgrade. They're still light.
Upgrade
Relatively
complete.
fast moving, but they do have a new upgrade in the Starport. You do need the fusion core to get it. Called Hyperflight Rotors, which increases the movement speed of the Banshees, which allows them to outrun any cloaked or any detector units like observers and overseers. So Banshee Harass does become more effective because a Mutaball can't chase it down with the overseers anymore. So I'll get that and show you the difference right now. This is kind of how fast the Banshees move. Speed right now is 3.85. I'm going to get this upgrade too. Well, next unit is the new one, the Liberator. Another one of my personal favorites. It is an anti-air splash fighter, very good against light air units like Mutalisks, but also has a second mode called the Defender mode where it can attack ground. So against light it doesn't do much damage, it does 7 and 2 attacks, so 14 damage, but it does splash damage. But in the Defender mode, it turns into this kind of air-to-ground siege-style tank. It does large damage, but to one target, so it does 85 damage to ground units, so which is phenomenal. So it destroys anything big, anything on the ground. Owns stores, owns Ultralisks. Can get this upgrade over here called the Advanced Ballistics with the Fusion Core. It lets your range increase of the Defender mode by 4, which is very good, makes them very siegey. The Raven. Auto turrets can still be cast. They time out after 7 seconds now. They don't last nearly as long as they used to. Is a point defense drone. Times out after 14 seconds, costs 100 energy. Also doesn't last nearly as long as it used to. So Raven kind of got nerfed. Its abilities don't last nearly as long as they used to, which kind of sucks. And then there's also Seeker Missiles, which are still the same, and honestly they kind of suck too, because even if you're right on top of the unit, even like a High Templar can outrun the Seeker Missile. Oh, he didn't manage to outrun it, which is strange because usually they can. But Raven does have a new upgrade. Still can get the Corvid Reactors, which increases their energy by 25, but they also can get the Explosive Sharpnel, which increases the damage of the auto turrets and Secret Missiles by 30%. Haven't tried it out much yet. Secret Missile is 130 instead of 100. I'm sure there's some applicable uses, but haven't seen that played out too much yet. And last ability is the Banshee Cloak from the Tech Lab. Obvious. Reactor. Fusion Core still gets you the Battlecruiser's weapon refit for the Yamato Cannon upgrade and the increase of Battlecruiser energy. Engineering Bay still has the same upgrades for structure armor, the Neo Steel frame for the bunkers, and the high-sec auto tracking. Armory, however, did get our split of the upgrades. Now it's either vehicle weapons or ship weapons. Vehicle plating does help for factory and starport units, but it's not the same with weapons. The weapons did get split.
Upgrade.
So
complete.
Hyperflight Rotors is done, and now you can see this Banshee is significantly faster. Instead of 3.8, it's 5.25 now, which is very, very fast. Makes these guys very mobile and very good at harassment. Haven't played with them too much yet, but looking forward to playing with them more. They do have similar movement speed. Cyclone is 4.72, so they are a little faster. But these would be good. Maybe Hellions, Cyclones, and Banshees together. They're all mobile. I hope and see that Liberator mode in action. Does get sniped out by the Phoenixes because his AI is a cheater. Gonna go after my Banshee. See if this turret does anything. What's the DPS on that? It does do a lot of damage, actually. It doesn't last long, but it does a lot of damage. Maybe we go try that out too. See how much damage these auto turrets do, because that was like 16.53 attack speed, which is like faster than a Marine. Yeah, that turret did crazy damage. I'm gonna go try it out. Battlecruisers, new ability. They did get tactical jump. Their stats are all the same, but now they can teleport anywhere on the map with just the push of a button. I don't even have to have vision. Watch. This tactical jump to the main base of this Protoss. It does cost a lot of energy though, 125, and then boom. That once not mobile big battlecruiser ship is now very mobile. Although it's going to be a while before I can actually get out of there. But that's the new battlecruiser ability. I'm wondering, haven't seen it used much yet, but I'm sure there's a lot of potential for that new ability. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Haven't used it much yet in multiplayer. Maybe I'll try it out today as well. So anyways, let's go back. I do want to snipe something with this Ghost. And let's go try out this Raven's turrets too.
Right away.
Come again.
Test out that snipe. Alright, and that's pretty much it. We have covered the Terran units. Everything that's changed about them. Orbital commands still do the same. Planetary fortresses still do the same.
Bad news.
And I think missile turrets and the sensor towers are the same also. Oh crap, come on!
Roger.
Of course they have an
Solo
observer.
operative, right? Okay. Sounds
Oh, they're going after my Raven.
out with it. Give me
Trying to get the snipe on the Zealot.
Copy
This
this.
vessel requires assistance.
Oh, look at that. That was a real snipe right there.
Yes.
One shot at that Zealot. Not bad at all.
Command.
So anyways, let's go see the power of these turrets. Let me see if that 30% upgrade finished. It did. So let's see what these do. And as you can see, 21 damage, and they attack super quick. And actually, that's kind of enough turrets. So that did pretty good damage to that worker line. They don't last long. But look at it. Look, it just took out that Zealot. Might even get that sentry. Wow. These turrets actually do have pretty good damage. Don't last as long as they used to, but I don't know if their increase in damage output makes them worth it or not. But we'll see. Alright, that's my overview of the Terran race. If you guys want to see videos for the Zerga Protoss, let me know. I'd be happy to try it out. Alright, till next time, guys.